That's a pencil, computer-generated pencil, right? So when we go out, what are the benefits of this? Tell me some of the benefits of this, guys.
Options.
Options? Yeah. There are choices, yeah.
Actually, put some numbers in front of them.
Yeah, it does have numbers.
One benefit to me, I'd never seen it until I got here, but one benefit to me is it looks more real deal. I'm used to bringing out a piece of paper with a marker up top, you know what I mean, and it's all wrote from a guy behind the desk. It's not printed out with their name, their vehicle, their numbers. It looks legit. So
Professional, legitimate.
you're almost taken more seriously with something printed out with all the information than you are with a green Sharpie on a piece of print paper. You know what I mean?
It's computer generated, and people have more faith in a computer map than they do.
And the biggest thing for me too is, you're always taught that that thing over there on the right with the green Sharpie that they write behind the desk can make you the most money. That pencil right there on the left, when it's legitimate, it almost does something, for me, it almost seems like it does something to the customer where they believe in it a little bit more. It's easier to ask for the money than it was when you're working a Sharpie marker, because you can mark through it with that same Sharpie and make new numbers. So to me, it brings more money, but it also seems like it's a legitimate thing.
Actually, they did a study on what they thought, they asked people, what do you think brings more grosses, a computer printed pencil or a Foursquare? What do you think most of the people in the car business thought? Yeah, they said, man, absolutely the Foursquare. When they actually did the numbers, there was a 20% increase by using this. And it was from some of those things. It's computer generated. It takes the human effect out of it. When people come out with something and it's handwritten in marker, what do they think?
Oh, this is guess.
Well, they a person did this, so this isn't reality. I can negotiate this. Sharpen your pencil. Well, when it's done, computer generated, it looks like it's coming from the bank. So it adds legitimacy to it. It also has a breakdown of every freaking number. So what does that take away?
Guesswork.
Takes away guesswork. What it takes away objections. People always think you're hiding something from them, and when you're working the Foursquare, they will always want to talk about what you're hiding. When you break it down like this, there's nothing to hide. You hand it in front of them, and it's also a huge amount of information. And what do people not want to seem like they are? Dumb, stupid, unsure. So they look at it. If they don't know what they're looking at, they're afraid to say something because they don't want to come off like they don't know what they're doing or that they're not as smart. And if they're not as smart and they feel like you're smarter than them, what are you going to do?
Lose credibility.
Take advantage of them in a negotiation. So they won't say anything, but all the numbers are there. And if they ask a question, you can go, oh yeah, that's right there. It's right there. It adds legitimacy to you. It takes away the objections. Everything is right there. But at the end of the day, what are you really doing, guys?
Foursquare.
Foursquaring. What is a Foursquare? No. What goes in this first square?
Price.
Price. What goes in this one?
Trade.
What goes in this one?
Down. 20%.
20%? So,
Excellent institution.
$2,000. Okay. And then what goes in this last one?
Payment range.
Payment range. That's a way to do it. So we would say,
Monthly investment.
at the end of the day, you're still doing the same thing, aren't you? So we bring this in, we add legitimacy. But some people feel more comfortable with this. Whenever you do a negotiation, where's it easier? This is too much stuff to negotiate with,
Who
right?
feels more comfortable, the customer or the salesman?
Sometimes everybody.
Okay.
Because we get locked up over these things.
I've had times where I would have been more comfortable with that.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, why is this so successful?
It's so simple.
Why do they pick those 4 quadrants? Why did they pick that simplification? Simple is right. But why? These are the things that are most important to anybody. At the end of the day, what do they always ask you about? What's the price? How much for my trade? How much down? What's my payment? Those are the 4 most important things. So when you're negotiating a deal, those are the 4 areas that are most important. People have turned the Foursquare into a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just been used in the wrong way and gained a negative connotation because people think they're using it as an instrument to take advantage of them. At the end of the day, it was meant to simplify the process to make it easier for people, and then they want to fight against it, which is how we end up back over here to bring the legitimacy to it. But guys, you can live the best of both worlds. So for you guys that haven't done a Foursquare, you take this out. They may go, yeah, it looks great to me. What do you do then? Great, guys, we'll get it cleaned up and we'll go inside. Easy deal. Hey, they're good. But if they start breaking down, I want to do this, I want to do that. Guys, flip your paper over. This is the same piece of paper. Flip it over and start talking about what's important to them. And start working that foursquare. Write it down where they can see it. Simplify the process. Sometimes this can be confusing. And when people get confused, what do? They shut down. And then they start to become non-committal. And then we're racking our brains, aren't we? Why did they become non-committal? What happened? I thought I had a deal. How many times have you guys said that, especially in the last month? Your deal yesterday. Man, I thought I had a deal, man. He seemed committed. He wasn't committed. What was the problem? Payment. At the end of the day, he cared about that. We weren't quite there. He was confused. He didn't know how to relay that. But if we were able to take this pencil and flip it over and simplify the process for them and talk about the things that are important to them, it allows you to maybe make some headway. You've been clear and open here with them. This is professional. This is legitimate. This shows their options. If they have any questions, you can flip it back over. Hey, I want to see the numbers in print. Hey, they're right here. Then you flip it back over where you want to be and start marking that thing up. You start to find out what's the most important. You write it down. Okay, guys, it looks like the price is 10 grand. We're giving you $5,000 for your trade. With 2,000 down, your payment's going to be roughly between $300 and $500 a month. If you can make that work, that's pretty simple right there. Sign right here. Well, I can't really do that. What of those 4 things is holding you back? If you had to pick one of those 4 things, which one will be stopping you from doing a deal today? What is it usually? Give me number 1. Number 1. What's number 2? Huh?
Trade.
Payment. What's number 3? These things are probably about even, to be honest with you. It don't really matter. At the end of the day, people think they care about price and people think they care about trade, but really at the end of the day, they care about money today and money every month. Everybody lives on a budget, guys. There's very few people paying cash. You guys see more of it than most. There are a few people coming in and paying cash, but even a guy that came in the other day and put $37,000 down, he cared about the payment. People care about the payment because they have to budget their life. Not many people are independently wealthy. Independently wealthy people, they don't care. They have to have people that work for them that care. They just blow all their money and pay too much money. But people like us, normal people, hardworking Americans, they live on a budget. So at the end of the day, the most important thing is they got to figure out how to do this. And what's going on right now? Holidays. So what are they worried about? Coming up with money for Christmas presents. So when you start hitting people for large amounts of money down today, it takes them back. One person of the family might be on board, the other one might not be. One person's going to be a spender usually, one person's going to be a saver. That's how most relationships work. The spender's ready to go, the saver's pumping the brakes. It's just which one of those is going to be the decision maker. So find out if that's important. The second thing is going to be the payment. I've seen a lot of people where they'll pay a much larger monthly payment for less money down. But these things tie in together, guys. And when you're working these deals, that's what you've got to find out. You've got to isolate what the real objection is. In most cases, it's one of those 4 spots. Occasionally, is it something else? Yeah, occasionally. What's another thing that comes into play that can keep you from getting a car deal? Really, that's the only other one I can think of. Interest rate and negative equity, let's say that. That can be a problem, or just being able to get financed. But it usually comes into one of these 4 spots. But guys, if we get too locked up on the things that they say that doesn't really matter, it's going to affect these things. And at the end of the day, if this is the most important thing, if that's the most important thing, if that's the thing that's going to keep you from getting a car deal, let them have it. If we can be able to lock down and isolate what the actual objection is, which of these areas is really the pain point, and we can give it to them, and then we can own the other 3, then we're going to find a way to a car deal. And everybody's going to leave happy. It's going to allow you to make higher grosses while still having high customer satisfaction. because you listened to what the actual problem is. You didn't try to shoehorn them into some BS, coming up with your own objections in your mind. Guys, it's hard to come over and overcome an objection, right or wrong. It's even harder when you got to come over multiple ones. So if you got a husband and a wife and they both have objections, is that easier or harder than one person? Okay, if I throw you into the mix, Jimmy, and then you've got to overcome your objection and the wife and the husband, how hard is that? It's almost impossible. So if we can isolate, simplify, and isolate to find out what the true pain point is, then we can work on that pain point and relieve the tension off that area. And maybe restructure that deal to find a way where if they don't really care about this and they don't really care about this, they care about this, but man, this is where the pain's at. At the end of the day, we got to find a zero down deal, right? So guys, if I can get you zero down, obviously if it's zero down, this payment's going to change. But if I can get you zero down and I can keep you, let's say, somewhere between that 500 to 550 range, if I can make that happen, what would stop you from buying that car today? Well, nothing, Rocky, if I can get zero down, but you said I need $2,000 down. Let me go work on this for you, man. Let me go lean on these guys. Let me go work that desk. Hey, I got a guy in there who has a great relationship with a bank, and I just thought of a bank. Thought of a bank that's running a special right now. I think we can get you done zero down. If you're willing to do zero down, 500 to 550, sign right there. Let's get this done. What have we done at this point?
Giving them hope that there's a way to get it done with what they want to do.
We've simplified it even more. What have we turned this into? A 2 square. Who said 2 square? Turn it into 2 square. And if you can turn it into a 2 square, it's even more simplified. And again, you're going to have people that have higher customer satisfaction. And you're going to be happier because you're going to be able to close these deals at a higher rate. And then you get a yes. And then everybody feels good. And everybody feels like they're informed. Everybody feels like they know what's going on. And then your desk is going to love you too because you've worked this thing down to the bone. And what do you have when you come into the desk at this point? What is this? It's a commitment. How do we feel when you have a committed car deal? We feel good, don't we? Because if you've got them committed, what's the chances we're going to get that? A lot higher. It's when we have to guess and move around, and then people are here. What's the number one killer of a deal? Does anybody know? Time. And if you're switching units and switching units and switching units, what happens? Taking up more time. And what happens once they've been here for about 2 hours? People start getting diabetes. People start needing to go take their medicine. People's kids got to start getting picked up from school. People's kids got sick at home. People are looking for an escape route. They have more escape routes than the freaking Navy SEALs. Time is your killer. Simplification saves you time. Saving time is going to make your people happier. And when they can get out of here quicker, they're going to pay at a higher rate and a higher satisfaction. You're going to make more money. They're going to be happier. They're going to send their friends and their family. And it's going to be great. Everybody's going to be happy. And then when you see them the next time, you're going to be happy to see them, and they're going to be happy to see you. Because you listen to them, you listen to what their problems were, and you solve that problem. You can give somebody the best deal on this sometimes, and if they feel like you forced them into a car that they didn't necessarily want, you didn't really listen to what they had to say, and you overcome your own objection, but maybe you didn't overcome theirs enough, you did what we call deflect and bulldoze. You still sell them a car, the end result's the same, right? You sold them a vehicle, but you might have only sold them one. If you listen to them, drill down, find out the objection, identify it, overcome it, close the deal in a healthy way, it's just this car deal. It's not the last car deal. It's every car deal, which goes back to what these guys are saying about repeat and referral, which is how you build your business, especially in tough times. You want customers coming out to look for you, not you having to go out and hunt for them. So guys, any questions? Does it make sense? Show this every time. I love this. How's everything there? It's legitimate. We're not hiding anything. We're not hiding anything anyway, are we? I mean, we want them to know, hey, guys, we're not trying to hide anything. Here's every number you'd ever want to see. Some people are going to like that. The analytical thinker is going to love this. You're not going to turn them off. They're going to sign it. You're never going to do this. The person that's not so analytical, or the person that needs it to have it simplified for them, all you have to do, guys, you have a 4 square on the back of that sheet. Guys, you know what? Let's talk about a few things. Let me simplify this a little bit. Flip it over. Draw the squares. I'll say, guys, look, you're paying $10,000 plus doc for a car. I'm giving you $5,000 for yours. If you put 20% down, we're looking at roughly $300 to $500 a month payment. That's with approved credit. We haven't got anything submitted over. We just want to get a pre-commitment from you that if we can get to these terms, we're going to do our best to get to those numbers. That's what it looks like. And then what are they going to do? There are two options. What are they going to do?
Here, sign or tell you where it hurts.
Yeah. They're going to say yes and sign, and then we're good to go. We simplified it. We're good to go. We've overcome it. Or they're going to tell you where it hurts. Well, man, I don't think I can do that. Which one? Can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Which one hurts? If you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Well, I don't like any of them. I get it, man. I don't either. It's just the state of the world. Obviously, you know, which one is the most painful? What is the number one thing holding you back? And they're going to tell you. And then you just start working back off of that. If I could, would you? What if, what if, what if? And work it back to a what if that makes sense for them, that they'd be happy to do. At that point, they've committed. What is a commitment?
That's a yes.
It's a yes. And when we're saying yes, we're not saying no. No is blowing out. Yes is staying here. So guys, that's the roadmap there. Use it. Work it. It's the best of both worlds. Some stores you're going to go into, they're going to give you a piece of paper. They're going to scribble some stuff on there in green Sharpie, send it out. You're going to run into a guy saying $850 that's not down for any of the BS. And what's he going to do, Jacob?
You lose credibility like that.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Everything you built out on the lot, the wall comes down immediately. You're going to wonder what in the heck happened. Me and that dude were cool. We're not cool now. He's going to want to start asking questions. You're going to go, You've lost credibility. He thinks you're trying to get over on him.
Great example. Rocky Yates at F250. I told Rocky that dude beat me up for 30 minutes. Just beat me up, beat me down for 30 minutes. Rocky gets him, brings him out numbers, shows him everything on a printout. Everything's good to go. No hiccups, no nothing. Dude signs, he's good to go. He's an 850. I work him with a piece of paper, green Sharpie, and nothing's right. He wants to put me up on everything. Doesn't think it's legit, thinks we're hiding something the whole entire time. By the time I get him closed up, I don't ever sell him another truck. He comes and buys trucks from Rocky. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that does play a factor because that's the same person. We both work two different ways and had completely different experiences.
You flip it the other way, though. Does this hurt you? Does this ever hurt you?
No.
This never hurts you. This adds legitimacy. So let's say you get the different customer, and they don't get any of this. And they're giving you that deer in the headlights look. What should you do? You just look at them and say, hey, guys, seems like maybe there's something here we're not understanding. What part of it? I mean, would you like me to simplify this? Yeah, I don't really know what I'm looking at. And that's all right. There's a lot of people who don't understand. Let me simplify it for you. Let me show you the things that probably matter. And you flip it over. This is what we're doing. 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 Don't make them feel bad about it. Because some people are going to see this and they're going to get overwhelmed, right? So what are they going to do? Again, they don't want to come off as dumb. So what do they do then? Shut down. And when they shut down, what are they looking for? An escape route. And then you guys are wondering, man, I thought that was going to be a car deal, man. They liked the car. Well, they got confused. It's never hurt you because you always have this in your tool belt, if you guys have it in your tool belt. So as we transition here, guys, the reason we're talking about this is you haven't had to use much of this, have you? There hasn't been much negotiation, has there? These are negotiating tools. What have you guys not been doing the last 2 years? Tell me how negotiations really kind of went over the last 2 years.
You don't want it, cool, see.
Yeah. 10 grand.
Yeah, I'm here to look at that Jeep Wrangler. Which one? The only one you got out there. Oh, yeah, that one? That Rubicon? Yeah, it's nice. So you want it? Well, what's the price? It's the price that's on the internet. Well, I don't know. I just drove by and saw, okay, great. Come on in here. Right up. All right, we're going to want $73,000 for that Jeep Wrangler. It's got 98,000 miles on it. You can go ahead and sign up right here, and we'll do that deal. $73,000 for a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon with that many miles? Are you sure it's a Rubicon? It says Sahara on the side. Yeah, whatever. Sahara, it's a Rubicon. It's all about the same. It's a Jeep. Man, would you take 71? Yeah, if you don't want to pay the price, there's the door. Next guy will pay it. Have a nice day. Does that sound familiar? And the really good guys will be like, let me go here and show you this Rubicon. It's a nice one. Oh, I mean the Sahara. And they really show it and say, it's only $73,000. But they're hard to get. Oh, would you do 72.5? I wish I could, man, but it's going to be 73. And what do people mostly do? I guess, man. It's the only one I found, so I guess I'll take it. Wasn't much negotiation. But now that we have more inventory, you're going to have more negotiation. And if you continue to negotiate things the way that you have the last 2 years, It's not going to work. Just like if you would have negotiated the last 2 years like you're going to have to negotiate now, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked for anybody. Wouldn't have made any sense. But as you're coming through here, guys, things are going to shift a little bit. And as long as you're shifting with it and you're adapting with it, you're going to be fine. So I love the fact that we do this. It adds a lot of legitimacy. For those people that want to see the numbers that are analytical, it gives it all to them. It shows that we're not hiding anything. It even gives you a spectrum here. 0 down, 1,000 down, 2,000 down, 60. It gives you a lot of information. So if you want to look at all that information, it's there. If it's too much information, guys, don't be afraid to flip it over. Simplify it, drill down, find the root of the problem, give yourself the ability to overcome it, get the commitment on a 2-square if possible. Get the commitment, come to the desk, and then I feel like your time will go down where you'll spend less time. You'll have higher customer satisfaction. You'll have more satisfaction. We'll have more satisfaction. At the end of the day, I think you'll sell more cars and serve more people at a higher level. Any questions?